Most entrepreneurs are incredible at what they do. They spot opportunities, build products, close deals. But when it comes to hiring salespeople, even the smartest ones fail. I've been recruiting salespeople for over 12 years, and here's what I see. A bad sales hire doesn't just cost their salary. You lose deals, you lose momentum, and unfortunately, you lose months of your time. Today, I'm sharing the one approach that's helped hundreds of companies stop guessing and start hiring salespeople who actually close. If you have ever hired someone who interviewed like a rock star and then completely disappeared when it was time to sell, this is for you. Now let's break down why most people get this wrong and how to flip your hiring process so you consistently bring in reps who actually produce. Point number one is you're hiring backwards. Most business owners start in the exact same place. You grab the resume, and once you have the resume, you probably look for their years of experience that they have, if there's any big name companies on there, what are their past results, and what industry knowledge do they have. Then maybe, if there's time at the end, you think about personality fit. And this is completely backwards. Instead, you should be hiring in this order: heart, brain, toolbox. The heart is their drive, their personality, their intrinsic motivation to sell. It's the part of them that gets back up after getting rejected all day long. The brain is their ability to learn, process information, and adapt. Can they pick up your product quickly? Are they coachable? Can they adjust after feedback? Can they handle a changing market or a new script without melting down completely? And the toolbox is their skills and experience. The stuff that can be taught. Stuff like the product and industry knowledge, the exact sales process, your CRM, your market, your scripts, yada, yada, all the good stuff. When you hire someone with the right heart and brain, you can teach them the toolbox. You can train them on your products, you can walk them through your process, and you can help them understand your market. But you cannot train drive. You can't teach someone to be resilient after rejection. You can't install the hunger to close deals. Yet most people hire based on what someone did at their last job instead of who they are as a person. We see, oh, they were a top rep at insert big company name here, and they'll crush it. Except it's a different offer, a different market, a different price point, a bigger brand reputation. And then suddenly that top rep is completely average or worse. So, for example, a lot of newer roofing companies will come to us looking for reps with 3 years of sales experience. Sometimes we oblige and we start out looking for that. But guess what? Those reps almost never work out, ever. They have bad habits, they're burnt out from the industry, or they just aren't that good, which is exactly why they left their last company, or they were forced out of their last company. The candidates who have heart and brain, they beat out the ones with just the toolbox every single time. So when you're thinking about your next sales hire, I need you to ask yourself this: am I overweighing the resume? Do I really know how they handle rejection? Have I actually tested their drive and their learning ability? Because if you get the order wrong, like if you hire toolbox first and then heart last, you almost always end up disappointed. Once you start hiring for heart and brain first, there's another trap that shows up, and this one is really sneaky, which is point number 2 on you look for yourself instead of looking for what works. Here's what usually happens. You're analytical, so you want analytical salespeople. You like relationship building, so you want relationship-focused salespeople. We subconsciously try to hire people who feel like us. Or worse, we try to find someone who's good at everything. Here's what your job description probably sounds like. Hey, we're looking for a unicorn who can prospect from scratch and run amazing sales demos and close high-ticket deals and sales and manage accounts and handle customer service, make a killer coffee, hopefully replace the owner in 2 to 3 years. This is like trying to build a football team, except you're trying to build it with 15 quarterbacks. Sales teams need different roles and different personality types. Some people are great at cold calling or appointment setting, but terrible at closing. Others are natural closers, but hate prospecting. Neither is good or bad, they're just different. But when you don't know what you actually need, you default to someone like me or someone who can do it all. And then you're disappointed when they don't magically cover every gap in your business. Instead of hiring yourself or hunting for unicorns, you need to pause and ask yourself, what specific traits actually drive results in my business, with my customers, in my market? And what bottleneck do I need to solve first? Do I need more leads, or do I need need more appointments. If you need more leads, hire an appointment setter. Are your closers at capacity and you can't scale marketing? Then hire more closers. Here's a few real-world examples of this. If your deals are small but your volume is high, then you need someone who can handle repetition and activity. If your sales cycle is long and consultative, then you need a candidate with patience, organization, and follow-through. If your offer is new or complex, then you need someone who loves learning and teaching. Once you're clear on that, you stop looking for the perfect salesperson and start looking for the right fit for this role right now. Here's another quick example. A lot of companies come to us unsure what to hire for first. They know that they need salespeople and they know that more salespeople equals more revenue, but they haven't done the true analysis into what kind of salesperson they actually need in order to create the leverage in their business right now. And here's the key. You don't need the best salesperson in the world. You need the right salesperson for the job you actually have to solve the bottleneck that you're trying to solve or increase the metric that you're trying to increase. Now, even if you understand this, there's still one thing that kills good hiring decisions. And it's not about the candidates, it's about you. Real quick, if you're watching this and thinking, I've made every single one of these mistakes, you're not alone. Most business owners are incredible at running their business, but nobody ever taught us how to spot who can actually sell versus who just interviews well. And that's actually why we built HyperHired, to handle all of this for you. We find the right people so you don't have to. If you want us to just deliver qualified sales reps to you, click the link down in the description. Now let's go over point number 3. You make emotional decisions, not systematic ones. Let's be honest about how most interviews go. Within the first few minutes, you've already decided if you like someone or not. Let's be honest about this. You don't say it out loud, but it's there. This person feels sharp, or I don't know about them. And from that point on, you're not really interviewing, you're confirming your bias. You probably spend the next 30 minutes asking questions designed to prove that your first impression was right. If you like them, you focus on their strengths, laugh off all the red flags, and give them the benefit of the doubt. If you don't like them, you overanalyze every small mistake, you nitpick their answers, and you walk away saying, something just felt off about that guy. This is how you end up hiring great interviewers instead of great salespeople. You're not running a process, you're following a feeling, and you need to flip this completely. You want a structured evaluation process that reduces emotion and gut instinct and forces you to look at what actually matters. And that means you're defining exactly what success looks like in that role. What does a good month look like? What activities matter most? What kind of conversations will they really be having? Creating specific questions or exercises that reveal those traits. If you need resilience, give them a role play that involves pushback or a no. If you need clarity of thinking, ask them to explain something complex in simple terms. If you need coachability, give feedback mid-interview and see how they adapt. And you're going to score candidates objectively. Use a simple scorecard, rate them on the traits that actually correlate with success in your role, not just vibe or would I hang out with this person outside of work on a weekend. And if you do this, now your decision isn't do I like them, it's do they actually match the heart, the brain, and the toolbox we know leads to success here. So what does this simple scorecard actually look like? Here's the 5 scoreboard categories that we use to rate candidates objectively. Number 1, coachability. How do they respond when you give them real-time feedback during a role play? Do they get defensive or do they actually adjust? This is huge because the goal shouldn't be to hire a finished product. You want to hire someone who can still be developed and molded. Number 2 is resilience under pressure. How do they handle objections or pushback or an intentionally difficult prospect in a role play? Do they crumble, get flustered, or stay composed and work through it? Sales is all about rejection. You need to see how they deal with it before they're on your payroll. Number 3 is clarity of communication. Can they explain something complex in a way that's simple and compelling? Ask them to walk you through a past deal or pitch a product. If they ramble or lose you, they'll lose your prospects too. Number 4 is curiosity and discovery skills. You want to see if they ask good questions, not just in the interview, but also in the role plays. Great salespeople are genuinely curious. They dig. They don't just pitch features, they uncover problems. I want you to watch whether they're trying to understand or just waiting for their turn to talk. And number 5 is drive and ownership. When they talk about past results, do they own them? Do they speak specifically about what they did and not what their team did? And when things went wrong, do they blame blame the territory, the product, the leads, or do they talk about what they learned and changed? Once you follow this process for interviewing sales reps, something powerful happens. You stop overvaluing charm, you start seeing who can actually sell and bring revenue into your company. Interviews become more consistent, and over time, your team gets stronger with each hire instead of being so hit or miss. So let's bring this all together and make it really, really simple. The one approach that changes your sales hiring. Most business owners struggle with hiring salespeople for three big reasons. You hire backwards, you start with the resume and the toolbox instead of the heart and the brain, and you look for yourself or unicorns instead of defining what actually works in your specific business. You make emotional, not systematic decisions, or you rely on gut feelings instead of a structured process. When you flip those three things, your entire sales hiring process changes. First, you define the traits that actually win in your market. You use a scorecard and a process to stay out of your own way. That's how you stop guessing and start hiring salespeople who can actually close. So here's the bottom line. You didn't become a business owner to spend your time figuring out recruiting problems. That's exactly what we do here at HyperHired. We take over your entire sales hiring process and send you only the top candidates who can actually close deals. No more wasted interviews, no more training people who can't sell, no more 3-month experiments that cost you deals, money, and your sanity. All you gotta do is check the link in the description to see how we can solve your sales hiring headaches. And if this video helped you think different about hiring, make sure you hit the subscribe button and click that bell for notifications. We share strategies like this every week to help you build predictable and highly profitable sales teams. By the way, if you want the full scorecard that we just covered along with our entire step-by-step guide to the perfect interview, click the link in the description to get it for free, and we'll see you inside.